It wasn't really a huge thing. It's like everyone making videos back then was freaking American. So it was like, oh, it's just normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vandaag in Hoe werkt dat hebben we een fuel collector. Het is gemaakt van Kevlar en aluminium, weegt helemaal niks. Het is ongeveer, het zal nog niet eens een kilo wegen denk ik. Er kan ongeveer een liter, 1,5 liter benzine in. Waarom hebben ze zo'n ding in de Formule 1? Nou, je moet je voorstellen, hij zit in de benzinetank. Waar zit dan die benzinetank? Nou, die zit achter de rug van de rijder, ongeveer halverwege de auto. En daarbovenin zie je deze fuel collector. Waarom hebben ze die? Nou, benzine wordt hier vanuit de benzinetank vanaf 3 plaatsen naartoe gepompt. Strategische plekken onder in de benzinetank zitten hele kleine lifterpumps. En deze 3 pompjes die mogen gewoon droog lopen. Dat is geen enkel probleem. Er is altijd dus eentje die benzine naar deze collector toe pompt. Dat gaat hier onderin bij mijn duim. Gaat de benzine erin en het zorgt dus dat die altijd vol is. Zoals gezegd, die 3 lifterpumpjes die mogen gewoon droog draaien. Waarom is dat? Dan moet je je voorstellen, in onze eigen auto hebben wij ongeveer 1G die ervoor zorgt dat die benzine heen en weer gaat. Maar bij een Formule 1 auto is dat 6G. Dus die benzine die gaat van links naar rechts, van boven naar beneden door die tank heen. En dat is dus niet goed om de benzine naar de hoge druk benzinepomp vlak bij de motor te krijgen. Deze fuel collector zorgt er dus voor dat die druk gelijkmatig in die benzinepomp komt. En dat hele meetsysteem, waar ook de FIA toegang door heeft, zit allemaal in de benzinetank ingebouwd. En dus ook een elektrisch signaal gaat er naar de auto. Stoppen jongens, als deze leeg is. Want als de benzinepomp stuk gaat in de Formule 1 auto, dan ben je verder van huis. Als dus die signaaltjes afgaan en de auto zegt ik heb geen benzine meer, kun je nog maximaal 1 rondje rijden. Want dat zit 1 litertje in deze fuel collector.
Volop live topsport? Ga naar Ziggo Sport op kanaal 14.
Max, voordat we het gaan hebben over intermediates en andere dingen en rondvliegende putdeksels. Ik ben niet zo van het oude koeien uit de sloot halen, dat weet je, hè? Daar ben ik niet zo van. Ik moet even terug met je naar Singapore, maar om een heel andere reden. Ik wil ze graag weten, dan word je uiteindelijk na dat gedoe bij de stewards geroepen. Wat kan en mag jij daar dan zeggen? Ben jij daar volledig vrij om je mening te geven?
Alles wat je wil, maar dat werkt niet altijd.
Dus het is politiek.
Nou ja, je moet wel netjes blijven tegen de anderen. En kijk, je moet ook een beetje op de stewards inspelen.
Ja, precies.
Ja, het zijn andere stewards, hè? Race bij race, dus je weet waar je mee te maken hebt.
Ja, precies.
Dus,
maar
ja.
Ik was al vrij snel naar jouw stuurbeweging aan het kijken. Kun je hun dan helpen van, jongen, check mijn stuurbeweging, ik doe niks raars. Mag je zo ver gaan?
Ik hoefde niet eens veel te zeggen, ze snapte het zelf ook al wat er aan de hand was. Alleen, ja, waarom dat ze dan geen straf uitdelen, of, dat snap ik dan niet. Maar aan de andere kant, dan is het kampioenschap ook voorbij, denk ik.
Ja,
dus dat willen ze ook niet.
Het mag natuurlijk ook niet zo zijn dat als je aan de leiding gaat of meevecht voor een kampioenschap, dat je onder andere set je regels rijdt.
Ja, nee.
Dat is ook weer niet goed.
Normaal gezien niet, nee. Maar ja, aan de andere kant, weet je, dus, het zat gewoon niet mee, maar het zit het hele jaar toch al niet mee. Dus weet je dan, ja, voor mijn situatie maakt het toch geen verschil uit, want ik ben er toch uit.
Jij bent daar niet alleen dan, hè? Jonathan gaat dan met je mee met data van de auto en dingen? Nee,
niet nodig. Ze hebben zelf ook, kunnen ze ook data zien, hè.
Oké, nou, dat is wel mooi. Oké. Hallo, we zijn in Maleisië. VT1, ik vind dat daar mooi, ga ik daarbij zitten houden. Eerste run van iedereen. Dan zie ik je naar buiten gaan en dan hoor ik eerst wat over dat je banden wat koud waren. En dan rij je er gewoon 1,9 seconden vanaf. Hoe doe je dat?
Gevoel, denk ik. Ja, nee, gewoon gelijk de grip opzoeken. En als je naar buiten rijdt, al een beetje lijnen proberen, dan weet je precies waar de grip ligt. En nou ja, het voelde meteen wel goed aan. Dus ik zei ook, ik heb maar 1 rondje nodig. Nou, uiteindelijk dan droogt de baan op. Dan ga je nog een keer naar buiten. Maar ja, dat voelt allemaal wel goed.
Maar wat is dat dan voor? Ga je er dan echt voor zitten dat je zegt, hé, maar wacht even, dit wordt even mijn moment? Of zeg je gewoon, ik laat het komen zoals het voelt? Ja,
maar in de regen kan je niet, zeg maar, zoals in het droog, echt gewoon vol gas pushen. Dus meer net onder de limiet rijden. Want ja, je wilt niet te veel op de limiet remmen, want dan als je blokkeert ben je klaar. Dus het is altijd zo'n 99%, altijd een beetje net het randje opzoeken.
Ja.
Ja.
Dan is een vrijdag en is een eerste vrije training. Als ik met mijn beperkte kennis van de banden kijk naar die intermediates, dan denk ik soms die dingen zijn van hard plastic, die komen van de Playmobil.
Ja, dat is niet normaal. Dus ten opzichte van de jaren daarvoor is het een heel moeilijke band. De regenband is eigenlijk de extreme dan, die is een stuk beter geworden. Alleen de intermediate is een stuk slechter geworden. Maar alleen, ik denk op dit circuit ook door de temperatuur, omdat het redelijk warm is, dan werkt die nog wel enigszins. Maar als we bijvoorbeeld dit circuit met dit soort water bijvoorbeeld in Europa hadden gehad, dan reden we gewoon met extreme banden rond.
Tweede vrije training is dan helemaal droog. Dan doe je een run, dan roep je onderstuur echt niet normaal.
Ja, dat was dan op de supersoftbanden.
Ja.
Ja, we hadden eigenlijk heel kleine dingen in de auto veranderd, maar dat maakte zo'n groot verschil uit, dat snapte ik niet. Dus het kwam even niet goed uit, maar uiteindelijk dan aangepast en dan met gebruikte banden natuurlijk nog een keer proberen. En dan ziet het er op zich wel redelijk goed uit. Alleen ik denk dat Ferrari dit weekend wel heel snel is.
Ja, precies. Dan komt het momentje van Ome Grosjean. Goeiedag. Is daarover gesproken net met Charlie Whiting in het buitenweer? Want dat is niet oké, van die dingen.
Nee, daar zijn ze zelf natuurlijk ook niet blij mee. Ze zijn erachter gekomen dat waar die vastgelast was, dat daar een scheur in zat. Die dingen mogen natuurlijk niet gebeuren. Dan komt er wel een sorry vanaf. Maar aan de andere kant, het team van Haas heeft enorme schade aan de auto. Dus wie betaalt eigenlijk die rekening dan?
Ja, dat is echt wel een dingetje. Geeft het jou dan ook een ander idee over de Halo? Je hebt hem nu niet. Dat ding komt omhoog en iemand kopt hem weg. Wel een probleem.
Ja, maar die kan ook afketsen op die Halo. Kan die naar je lichaam gaan.
Ja, oké.
Hey, ik ben er gewoon geen voorstander van. Dus het maakt niet uit wat er gebeurt op het circuit.
Maar daarom vraag ik het.
Dus
Oké.
Totaal niet. Het ziet er ook gewoon lelijk uit. Helemaal echt een onding.
Helder. Pace-wise. Balans-wise.
Redelijk goed. Ja, ik denk niet dat we snel genoeg zijn om Ferrari aan te vallen. Maar voor ons doen. Ik vond de auto wel redelijk in balans. Dus dan is het natuurlijk moeilijk om dan nog veel te vinden.
Zijn de problemen van Mercedes echt, denk jij? Ik vond ze in de regen, los van wie er achter het stuur zat, ik vond die auto er niet lekker uitzien in de regen. Maar op droog hadden ze allebei ook gewoon echt 2, 3 serieuze momenten ze gaan aftetsen ineens op het niks af.
Ja, het zag er nog niet zo goed uit. Ik denk wel morgen, natuurlijk in de kwalificatie komen ze altijd wel dichterbij als ze de motor openschroeven. En ik denk ook wel dat ze wat gaan verbeteren morgen, maar het is niet...
het is best een gat.
Het is niet zoals Ferrari, nee.
Dus?
Ja, het zal iets moeilijker voor hen worden, denk ik, morgen.
Maar wordt het daardoor ook makkelijker voor jou?
Nou ja, dat zien we morgen wel. Kijk, het wordt nooit makkelijk, maar we hopen er natuurlijk voor te blijven.
En er is sowieso wat te vieren morgen.
Ja, dat hoop ik wel. Als het dan ook nog gewoon een hele positieve dag wordt, dan is het natuurlijk extra mooi.
Ga je dan met taart gooien, de hele boel ondergooien?
Ja, wie weet. Maar taart, ik vind het nooit lekker smaak als het zo vochtig is hier. Dus,
moet je een andere geven?
Ja.
Had je nog beloofd toch in de persconferentie? We gaan toch niet weer voor het ouderwetse 5-6'je? Dan moet nu toch wel even... Nee.
3-4 dan.
Oké, gaan we voor 3-4. 20 en 3-4.
Ja,
top man.
Klinkt goed.
Dankjewel.
Ja.
Volop live topsport? Ga naar Ziggo Sport op kanaal 14. Gratis voor Ziggo-klanten.
Ja, hallo en welkom bij Boos.
Waarbij wij boze mensen proberen onboos te maken.
Door bijvoorbeeld een rapper met heel veel designer te bellen.
Of iemand die Joost heet.
Ja. Deze week hebben we Evelien. Hey, jij bent boos hè?
Ja, klopt.
Ja.
Hoe lang heb jij wel eens op de wc gezeten zonder te poepen?
16 uur.
Tim mag nog steeds alleen maar op de bank zitten.
En Minecraft video's kijken op YouTube, dus hebben we deze week Joost
en Donnie.
Joost, aka de flamboyante albino, aka de papierwitte bambino. Ken je van leuke internetdingen als 101 Joost en rapdingen over Sansa Mayo, Scandinavische jongetjes en feminisme.
Thanks nog dat je die clip speelde. De Donnie ken je van het moment dat hij met Batras en Bami-scheven op het laatste plein staat te schijnen. 180 op de linkerbaan.
Maar wel alleen als het echt rustig is.
En omdat hij nog 10 euro krijgt van Joost.
En Gappie, doe niet gierig. Ik stuur je nu een tikkie houden, maar je belooft het al de hele dag houden.
Ik heb geen internet hier in dit gebouw, sorry om uit te gaan.
Wat is je naam en dan kan je even kort toelichten van waarom je onze stopduo hebt ingeschakeld.
Hey, is goed.
Goeie edit.
ben Evelien. Ik zou tot 31 augustus studeren, maar ik heb 1 augustus heb ik me uitgeschreven. Ja. En daardoor heb ik mijn studiefinanciering terug moeten betalen en 3,5 maanden OV. Ja. 650 euro gaat het om.
Zo.
Terwijl ik daar wel recht op zou hebben, maar het is niet meer terugdraaibaar. En de duo wijst naar de universiteit en de universiteit wijst naar duo. Dus ja, ik kom er niet helemaal uit.
Ja, ik vind het best wel ironisch dat als je als bedrijf duo heet, wat staat voor een team, dat je alleen maar aan jezelf denkt. Dus wij doen niet aan aflossen, maar aan oplossen. Dus wij gaan het weer regelen.
Oplossen met een tablet.
Ja, get it. Ga ik je oplossen, Evelien, kom in. Bam.
Duo die zegt, bel de universiteit op als zij de uitschrijfdatum weer kunnen veranderen naar 31 augustus. Dan is het goed, dan kunnen wij alles weer met terugwerkende kracht aan je teruggeven. Maar toen heb ik de universiteit gebeld en die zeggen van nee, dat is wetgeving, dat ligt allemaal vast bij Duo. Ze wijzen alleen maar naar elkaar.
En Marije heeft ons wel echt in een moeilijke saus gegooid, man. Marije, wat is dit, man?
Sorry, maar ik heb wel echt vertrouwen in jullie.
Ik ben wel een beetje gekleed zoals Tim, is dat goed? Hip shirtje, goedkope jas, afgelopen fans, scheur in de broek.
Ik heb ook confetti, willen jullie het vast proberen misschien?
Ja, doe maar één keer. Hoe werkt dit? Zo. Hey, kill.
Kijk even, ik blijf. Ling.
Ja, man.
Kijk, het komt allemaal op haar.
Ja, man, dat zie je.
Zijn jullie klaar voor?
Ja hoor.
Let's get it.
Gaan we lopen?
Ja.
Pak maar geen Uber.
Nee, dat gaan we goed.
Ja, weet ik veel.
Pakken we geen Uber.
Oké. Even in het kort.
Iedereen vindt duo net zo onfijn als het eten van een bevroren bami-schijf of eten met een onjoost.
Want waarschijnlijk krijgen ze nog geld van je. En dus ook Evelien.
Klopt. Eve had namelijk een e-mail gestuurd van haar universiteit dat ze zich moest uitschrijven.
Maar omdat zij ging afstuderen op 31 augustus, onthoud de datum, hoeft dat helemaal niet.
Dan denk je, oh, helemaal prima. Nou, niet dus. Toen zij zich uitschreef, kreeg ze ineens geen stufje meer in haar laatste maand. En had ze ook geen recht meer op haar OV.
En als clap on the fire arrow moest ze ook nog eens een boete betalen.
Bovendien waren zowel duo als haar universiteit net zo meedenkend als bijvoorbeeld de steen of een gevulde koek.
Oeh, en als je nu denkt van, oh hey, dat is echt een slechte metafoor, dan zit je dus fout. Want er zijn weinig gevulde koeken die met je meedenken als je een betalingsregeling moet treffen met duo.
Om een lang verhaal kort te maken, gaan we naar duo. Netjes maximaal 120 linkerbaan met de gordel vast.
Nou, we gaan nu de grap uitleggen. Als we het geld van Duo niet terugkrijgen, dan gaan we ook het geld collecteren. Dus dan geven we het heads up.
Nice.
Marije heeft het bij zich.
Marije, rij maar voor.
Briljant.
Is wel vet, toch?
Dat is wel mooi, toch?
Wat vind je ervan?
Ja, goed idee. Ik ben benieuwd hoe ze reageren.
Laat hem eens lopen, kan dat?
Ja.
Oh, Tim Hofman, ik mis jou zo. Oh, Tim Hofman, kom daar zo. Vind je het leuk?
Ja, echt goed idee.
Gewoon een goede BPM. BPM 120 gehad. Duo die wil niet betalen. Nee, duo die wil niet betalen. Nee, duo die wil niet betalen. Dus wij gaan een verhaaltje halen. Duo die wil niet betalen. Duo die... ja man. Wat ik denk.
Eenmaal ballade.
Ja, het gaat sowieso
Helemaal
werken.
ballade, man.
We gaan geld halen. Ouwe.
Iets maar orgel. Je zal hem toch orgelen gaan. Ja, lijp een Terminator gebouw, man. Ik denk echt aan alles wat je denkt en je uitkomt gewoon, snap je?
Gaan we lekker hier bij het Duo. Hier gaat al het geld heen naartoe, hè? 600 euro.
Ja, hey, belastingdienst, man.
Alleen op afspraak. We hebben afspraak, toch?
Hoi, goeiedag. Camera moet uit. Wij zijn van het programma Boos en wij willen graag iemand spreken, want hier is van deze mooie lieve dame. Zij had zichzelf uitgeschreven en dan was het goed gegaan en dan we met de vinger naar elkaar gewezen. Nee, van je moet bij de
Unie zijn.
Ja, bij de Unie zijn, maar de Unie zegt nee, van je moet bij Duo zijn.
bij de duo, hè?
Ja, Duo klopt, maar dat moet ik ook zijn.
Of je nou een camera bij hebt, ja of nee, dan gaat de afspraak gemaakt worden. Dat is two-way, anders niet.
Oké.
Ja?
Oké, dus
Nee, niet ja maar.
Ik zeg geen ja maar, ik zeg ja oké.
We kwamen net het gebouw binnen.
En gelijk was het bonje.
En het was gelijk bonje. En om een lang verhaal kort te maken, nu wachten we dus, want er komt iemand, een persvoorlichter komt eraan.
Als het goed is.
Als het goed is.
Dat mag geen lang verhaal. Je maakt een lang verhaal kort, maar dat is helemaal geen lang verhaal. Hier verleden 10 minuten.
Ja, maar het is intellectueel op beeld toch, als je dat zegt.
Vind je het cool dat we autoriteit uitstralen?
Ja, zeker.
Dat is wel scampy.
Nee. Nee, niet echt.
Oké. Hey, ik heb wat bij me, man. Wat wil jij lezen?
Ik vind Joost een beetje lijkt op Tante Sedonia. Kijk eens thuis. Vinden jullie 1-0 Joost ook op Tante Sedonia lijken? Laat het even achter in de comments. Je lijkt er best wel op, man.
Ja, diezelfde kuif toch?
Chin Game Unlocked toch? Schoenlepel kind. Het duurt te lang voordat die woordvoerder komt, man. Hey, kom, we gaan gewoon met de orgel gewoon nu muziek maken en dan gaan we inzamelen, man. Een euro, een euro, een euro. Een euro, een euro, een euro. Een euro, een euro, een euro. Misschien heeft u misschien een euro voor Evelien. Nee. Heeft u misschien een euro voor Evelien, mevrouw? Een eurotje, een klein eurotje. Een euro, een euro, een euro. Een euro, een euro, een euro. Kunt u wat klein geld missen, mevrouw?
Ik heb helemaal geen geld bij me. Dus
Ik kan een tikkie sturen, 50 cent of
Hij
zo.
kan een tikkie naar je toe sturen. De tikkie-app.
er komen vast nog wel meer mensen.
In de club en je meid hebt betasting. Ik ben in dienst als de belasting.
Dag meneer, heeft u misschien een klein muntje over voor Evelien? Wat is keihard gemaaid door het duo? Nee? Oké, dank u.
Ja, deze mensen horen toch juist geld te hebben? Ze hebben al mijn geld. Ik heb letterlijk nog geld overgemaakt, net. Dank u wel, dat vind ik lief van u. Dank u wel. Fijne maandag, hè. Dat is echt hard, man. Hij is een harde guy.
Ja, man. Hij is een OG, man. Kijk hem. Vanavond zijn we bij het duo. Ze willen niet betalen. Dus wij zijn hier bij Boos. Een verhaaltje aan het halen. Het is Jong Parmesan en Maradoni. Je ziet me lachen, hè? De damn thing funny. Maar duo, we krijgen nog money.
Dank u wel,
Dank
meneer.
u wel, hè, meneer.
Fijne dag, hè.
Wordt op prijs gesteld. Ja, het zijn toch wel aardige mensen die hier werken.
Dus zo zie je maar, het zijn ook maar gewoon mensen die oplichters. Hoeveel hebben we al?
Nee.
Hoe krijg je dat open?
Zo ook, joh.
Doe maar met je breidling. Het gaan trekken.
Kanonnenjab.
Misschien kan Marije.
Ja. Marije. Hey!
Wat in mijn hand?
Hey, je hebt een flinke data.
1,90 euro. Denk ik, ja. 1,90 euro. Goeiedag.
Goeiedag.
Hoi. Ik ben Joost.
Hoi. Hoi.
Hallo, ik ben Joost.
Hoi, ik ben Donald. Hoi.
Hoi. Nee, we hebben even een goed gesprek gehad.
Ja.
En ik heb het verhaal even aangehoord.
Ja.
En we moeten even kijken naar een oplossing. Dus ik heb gevraagd van, stuur even de informatie die je hebt, stuur het even door naar ons. En dan, want ik snap dat er wat verwarring is van jouw kant. En dat wij van onze kant even kunnen kijken van, goh, hoe zit het nu precies? En dat je deze week van ons hoort.
Maar het is niet mogelijk om het nu al in te zien, zeg maar.
Nee,
ze heeft al een paar keer aangegeven.
Ja, dat klopt. Nee, dat heb ik ook al even aangegeven hoor. Kijk, we hebben natuurlijk te maken met heel veel specifieke situaties. En daar moeten we gewoon even goed in kunnen duiken. Of tussen collega's van mij. Die belofte heb ik gedaan. Ja.
Hand erop.
Hand erop,
Hand erop, toch?
Moet het zo serieus?
Natuurlijk.
Serieus, gewoon een man onderling toch?
Ja, dat gaat toch dat gaat om geld, meneer. Dat weten jullie wel bij de Belastingdienst.
Wat heb jij daarvoor?
Ik heb een oorkonde voor u, voor het bedrijf. De Hallo duo, we weten dat jullie altijd alles super mega perfect doen. En sorry dat we de rest van de wereld geen supermensen zijn. Zoals in die ene film van Ryan Gosling, die nu in de bios is, waar je mensenrobots hebt. Maar dat is ook geen feestje. Dus beter helpen jullie de rest van de wereld gewoon even. Het scheelt best veel geld. Oké, ik ook. En is een kleine moeite toch? Oké, thanks.
Nou, geef hem maar.
Die reiken jullie vaker uit?
Hey!
Hey,
Geef hem maar.
deze is voor u. Ja.
Even een selfietje maken voor het beeld.
Ik kan nog geen filmcamera, gewoon een fotocamera.
Oh hoor.
Lachen.
Lachen.
Je moet even, is hij al warm gedraaid? Kan die foto gemaakt worden?
Ja? Ja, dank u wel, meneer. Dank u wel. Ik hoop dat u een mooi...
Ja,
doe maar een cappuccinootje. Het is toch van de Belastingdienst. Ja, maar u mag deze houden.
Ja, deze is voor u.
Ja, dank u wel.
Ik heb nog nooit zo'n cadeau terug zien geven. Ben je nog boos?
Nee, ik denk dat het wel geregeld is. Hij heeft beloofd dat hij het voor vrijdag gaat oplossen. Dus hij gaat kijken waar het probleem is en dan terugkoppelen hoe het opgelost kan worden.
Oké.
Zo niet moet je bellen.
Ons bellen,
Ja.
Geef je nummer maar even.
Oh, die nummer even.
Geef je nummer maar even. Is voor werk, toch? Zet er maar achter werk.
Yes.
Doe ik je achternaam, dan ga ik je op Facebook toe. Ik bedoel, kunnen we LinkedIn.
Waar is je eenhoorn-ding, man? Laat me je even eenhoorneren, bro.
Wat doe jij?
Ja, toch op je hoofd.
Bruv, geef hier.
Hey.
Misschien moet dat eindshot even opnieuw doen, kom eens hier. Ben je nog boos?
Nee, nu al helemaal niet meer.
Hé jongens, ik ga er vandoor hè.
En later hè, Jozo.
Als er nog wat is, laat even weten. Je weet toch, hou je taai. Zijn we klaar? Ik zie niks. Hallo?
Zo, de knetteraar. Duo liep toch behulpzamer te wezen dan we dachten. Evelien krijgt deze week nog haar munt op de bank gestort. Fijn dat het nu al opgelost is. Laten we maar hopen dat die man zijn woord nakomt.
Wel jammer dat we maar €1,90 hebben opgehaald met onze orgeltje. Ben jij nou ook boos? Bijvoorbeeld dat je in de agrarische sector werkt, God weet wat het is en bent afgezet door de bietenboer.
Mail dan naar boos@bnnvara, dat is met een klein f. .nl, staat ook wel in beeld. En vergeet ook niet te klikken op de knop die rood wordt en dan komt ook een belletje bij. Dat je ook klikken, dan word je lid van de club.
En dan kun je nu ergens in het scherm klikken, daar zo links achter op een oude aflevering.
Oh ja, nu wachtmuziekje.
Mekaar wil nooit Tim Hofman. 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 Nee, nooit Tim Hofman. Gehechtingen in mekaar. Maar mekaar wil nooit Tim Hofman. Tim Hofman. Tim Hofman.
Echt fijn dat je hebt gekeken trouwens, doet me echt goed. En denk jij even na hoe je een paard zou tekenen als je hem zou kruisen met een kleine tonijn met een stok om zijn vin.
Thanks en vergeet niet te abonneren en te stunten met merkkleren. Dit was Albino en het was minister van Designen. Binnenkort poel ik op in die zwarte kluizen met designer tot de veten, want ik ben een entertainer. Ik voel me net Peter Jan Rens in de Mercedes-Benz en ik heb rubberen bands. Ik wil eigenlijk een Red met Snoopy of een wijngum later houden.
Hey, we zien je snel weer hè. Dankjewel voor het kijken. Toeloe.
Felipe, let's start with you. Here we are again. And once again, we know that this is a swan song. You mean it this time?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's my second retired race in Brazil. So, but this time is the last one for sure in Formula One. So definitely really looking forward for another amazing feeling to race at home, and really hope we can have a nice race and a nice result to finish well.
Lance, turning to you, in the points at 4 of the last 6 Grand Prix and now up into the top 10 of the drivers' standings. You will have a new teammate next season. What profile are you looking for? Someone young, someone experienced, or should the team take a gamble?
I mean, I was hoping for Hamilton, but he's not really available these days. So. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's completely up to the team. Like I said, my job is to drive my car, and you know, they'll take care of the rest.
Okay, thanks for that. Marcus, coming to you. You've outqualified your teammate at the last 3 Grand Prix, but yet to get that breakthrough point. This race worked out pretty well for Sauber last year. So have you targeted this weekend for the result?
Yeah, I mean, we always go into a weekend aiming to try and score points, like we've shown the last 2 weekends. If we get everything right on the car side, we can still take the fight with some of the midfield cars. So that's what we need to do again this weekend, and then we see here in Brazil, anything can happen with the weather, and it's a fun track to drive both in dry and the wet. And I wouldn't mind a bit of mixed conditions during the weekend, so I think that would spice things up.
Question for Felipe. What's your view on the future of Brazilian Formula One racing?
I think it's a very important event for São Paulo. It's a very important event for Brazil, Formula One. And, you know, for me it's very difficult to answer, but I really hope Brazil stays for a very long time with Formula One.
Felipe, this will be your last GP at Brazil as an F1 driver. What is your best memory here in this track?
Definitely the victory here in 2006, it was like a dream come true that I will never forget. It was definitely the most incredible day that I had in my career, winning the home Grand Prix for the first time in 2006.
You were very close to being a world champion at one point. You come from a country with great tradition. How do you rate your career?
I am very proud of my career. I'm very proud for what I achieved, for what I did. And also, really, the most important thing is that people respect me. I'm really finished with my head up, and I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Good luck in the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend. And coming up very shortly in part 2, we'll have Brendan Hartley of Toro Rosso, Esteban Ocon from Force India, and Kimi Räikkönen of Ferrari. Brendan, let's start with you. Congratulations, World Endurance Champion, once again for the second time with Okay, we move forward with the second part of the Thursday Drivers' Press Conference from Brazil. And joining us in part 2, we have Brendan Hartley of Toro Rosso, Esteban Ocon of Force India, and Kimi Räikkönen from Ferrari. Brendan, let's start with you. Congratulations, World Endurance Champion, once again for the second time with Porsche. How did it feel jumping back into a WEC car after the Formula One? And how are you rationalizing this very unusual life experience that you're going through at the moment?
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly tricky to jump back into the car. I thought I was going to feel right at home. So it's been my home for the last 4 years, but it took a couple of laps for it to feel comfortable again. The seating position is quite different from Formula One, having a roof over your head, different perspective. But yeah, after 5 laps, I felt back at home. And in terms of rationalizing things, I guess I've tried not to overthink it, and I've just, yeah. Even winning the championship, you know, it hasn't really sunk in. I haven't really had time to reflect. It probably helps that I'm just going from one weekend to the next. I think this is my 6th race in a row. It won't be till I get home at the end of the year, after all the racing's over, that I'll be able to reflect and fully understand what's just happened to me. I mean, I'm well aware that making my Grand Prix debut and Le Mans victory and World Endurance Championship, they're all amazing things, but at the moment it's, just trying to take one step at a time and try to stay focused and catch up on as much sleep as I can.
I'll bet. It sounds like you're set for a full season of Formula One next year, although it's obviously not official yet. But now you know a bit more about it. Will your experience of working with a major motor manufacturer like Porsche, do you think it will help Honda in developing with Toro Rosso, taking that whole relationship forward?
I don't know. What I do know is from working with Porsche in the last years, made my transition quite smooth to Formula One because it's a similar amount of people involved. Very similar structure in terms of engineering, pressure. I mean, driving Le Mans Porsche, there's a big amount of pressure on your shoulders. So I guess all those things I've learnt to deal with. So that was obviously very helpful going to Austin. Obviously, there's a lot of other things to learn in Formula One, and I'm well aware that there's still a lot to learn. But yeah, I don't know. I think the good thing for me is I've been involved in the past also with other Formula One teams and development and the project at Porsche. I was very heavily involved in the development on every level. So at least I have some experience from that point of view. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Esteban, coming to you. Force India confirmed fourth in the championship, the Constructors' Championship. It's your first full season, but you've obviously played a key part in that. What does it mean to you, given the quality of the opposition you faced this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great season, you know, for us. Of course, securing the fourth place, it's an amazing achievement. You know, 2 races to go. Yeah, thanks to the team. You know, I would like to thank everyone. I can't thank everyone in here, but yeah, a few key people. You know, Andy Stevenson, Andrew Green, Tom McCullough, and Otmar. I would like to, you know, thank everyone there for the team for the great season we had. Hopefully, we can finish the last 2 races very well, like we did before, and start the next one as high.
Some interesting numbers about you. You've out-qualified Perez at the last 4 races in a row. You're the only non-Mercedes driver to start in the top 6 for the past 4 races, and you've led Perez for 137 of the last 138 racing laps. So is that in line with your expectations of yourself at this stage of the season, and how do you move forward from here in 2018?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to push. You know, I'm here to challenge Sergio. For sure, it's been a very close season with him. You know, fighting with really little margin, and that's what we have been doing so far this season. But arriving a second time, you know, on the tracks where I've been driven before, with the Manor, you know, it helps me a lot with my experience, and also finishing all the races has helped me, and I feel much more comfortable now that I've been feeling in the beginning of the season, so it's great.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And coming to you, Kimi, 10 years on, we all remember it very, very well, from that dramatic day when you won the World Championship here in Brazil, probably the widest smile you've had as a sportsman, at least. Can you share some special memories of that day?
It's a long time ago. Obviously, it was a great day, but it wasn't just about the day. Obviously, it was the whole year. How it then obviously ended up.
Hello there, welcome to Paddock Uncuts from Interlagos, Sao Paulo, Brazil. So, it's all over for another year. Lewis Hamilton is now a 4-time world champion. He's been in and out of the papers for a couple of different reasons this week. So let's start with the newly crowned world champ. Hi Lewis, welcome to Brazil, a place that's always been good to you and a place I know you like, the people and the passion they have for Formula One. You come here obviously having wrapped up the 4th world championship. Is it sort of the gift that keeps on giving in a way? Have you spent the last week and a half kind of having it sunk in, and how have you been feeling about it?
Been feeling great. I got some time with some family and friends in the past week, so if, in all honesty, once I was amongst my friends, I didn't really think about it too much. So every now and then we'd be at dinner and you pinch yourself. You think, do you remember we just won the World Championship last week? So, but yeah, it was obviously an incredible feeling over those couple of, particularly the Monday. And as I said, the next couple of days are kind of, it kind of went to the back of my mind as I was spending time with family and that. But yeah, it definitely feels good walking into the paddock as the world champion.
Again.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it feels like the first time. So.
Does it?
It really does. It's I don't know why, but it just feels so fresh and new, and yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, obviously time passes and helps, but for sure, in the moment was a big disappointment after the race, especially. But yeah, come here is a different race, new challenge, so plenty to look forward to.
Obviously, we've had our battle through the year. I've always remained respectful. I see him as a four-time world champion. He's a fantastic driver. I think it's always a hard thing for anyone to lose a world championship, particularly when you've been in the lead of a world championship. I've been there before, and I empathize with that. But yeah, I think this year there have been weak points that have been shown, pressure points, or you might want to say whatever. And you know, the key is to continue next year too. I'm sure he's going to try and work on those areas. And I've just got to, as I said, I've got to continue to raise the game, and I plan to.
Do you regret something, what you did during the season? There is something that you will done different now, if you think?
Well, I think it's fair enough. I mean, there's always things that you would probably do a bit different. Overall, I think we all agree that we didn't have the season up to this point that we could have had or should have had for various reasons.
There's been another big story at home, I'm sure you know, about tax arrangements. What's your comment about what's turned into be quite a sort of big media storm at home?
Yeah, honestly, my focus has really been just on, as I said, that I had a good 10 days with, has it been, yeah, almost 10 days, I think. I could never have planned to have, if we had planned this holiday together, all my family, there's about 30 of us, and we planned this holiday. I could not have planned it better. I didn't plan it months ago thinking I'd have won the world championship by then. So yeah, so I've come off with obviously a huge amount of positivity from that week, and of course heard about everything, and my team released a statement, and I don't have anything else to add to that.
You come here, you must be feeling good about everything. Mexico is an interesting race, wasn't it? Because do you get races like that very often, where you're so, well, what's the word? Is it comfortable in the lead?
Well, I mean, I've had it in go-karting and in F3 a few races that you're just, cruising for your feeling, but that sometimes is actually better because then you relax a bit more and then actually everything just goes easier. It feels like.
And you did have to be kind on the car, but the good old car, the good girl, she didn't miss a beat. She didn't let you down.
My car is not a girl, it's a guy. I never race a girl.
That's one thing I never knew about.
Everybody names the car a girl and the engine and stuff. I'm like, no, it's a guy. Why should it be a girl?
Well, that's something I never knew. But anyway, he didn't let you down.
No, he was nice to me. I mean, the last 4 races has been nice to me, so that's good. In the beginning of the year, he was being a bit of a difficult person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Can you?
Puberty.
Yeah. We all know what that's like. Confusing time. Have you got over the Mexico disappointment? What was it in the end? Was it like an MGUH or something like that?
Yeah. It was a bit of. I think the overall thing was the H, but yeah, first thing I heard was the turbo going a bit weird. Yeah, so moved on. Had a good week. Did some mountain biking with some friends out in the States. That was cool. Good to kind of get away as well, clear your head. So we were in the middle of nowhere, and then went to see some good old-fashioned oval racing, some NASCAR.
Well, you went to the birthplace of the famous number 3, didn't you?
It's cool. Yeah, I was pretty stoked. I'd been, a fan since I was a kid and wanted to go for so long. So went there, and I was just stoked. Everyone was, every driver I met or NASCAR fans, they were actually happy to see me there, meet me there. They were stoked that I'm a fan of the sport. So it was very nice, very easygoing, and I've done some cool helmet swaps. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's the coolest one yet for me personally. I've been a big fan of the Earnhardts.
You come here as now a 2-time World Endurance Car champion with Porsche last year and this year as well. Only one question: how did you let Anthony Davidson, Buemi and Kazuki come in and nick the race win away from you?
They were quick, actually. They were very quick. It was 2015 I won my other one, by the way, just for those the statistic geeks out there. No, they were quick. We didn't actually have a perfect race, but you know what? We secured the championship, and it does sound good, two-time world champion. I haven't had a lot of time to reflect, if I'm honest, even from the debut in Formula One. I think it won't be till the end of the season when I can put my feet up and reflect on what's happened to me in the past month or so. It's been pretty surreal, but I'm still surprisingly relaxed and enjoying every second and just trying to make the most of it. I think it won't be till the end of the year that I really understand what's just happened to me.
Because it seems like if what Franz Tost said is to be confirmed, and I guess it is confirmed, that you will leave the WEC as reigning world champion because you're going to be here full-time next year.
Well, if Franz said that, that's great, but to be honest, I haven't had confirmation of that.
I was watching back Mexico. It was such an entertaining fight you had with Lewis as he was coming back through. He got you on the straights, but you were right with him in the corners. I mean, it sums it up, really, the package that you've got at the moment. But how much are you looking forward to more of that next year in a car that should be competitive?
Yeah, definitely looking forward. I think the whole team is quite optimistic for next year. I think we know our strengths, we know our weakness, we know what we need to work over the winter. And yeah, definitely it will be nice to battle, not for ninth, for podium position or something like that, and we will work very hard, day and night until March to achieve that.
Okay, and another thing about next year, all the signs point towards you doing the Le Mans 24 hours. You're doing the Daytona over the winter for Zach's team, as I understand it. The rumours are you're at Toyota doing a seat fitting. You might do the Bahrain test for them after the F1 season is over. If they ran a third car for you or whatever it works out, could you do that? Could you do Canada next year? I think Le Mans directly after that. Would that be an easy thing to do?
I don't know. I didn't look into those details yet, so we will see.
Is it something you'd like to do?
I would like to compete every weekend, but that's something that I will need to deal with McLaren, I guess.
How many races is it now that you've out-qualified Checo in qualifying? Because that seems to be going pretty well for you.
Did you count?
I think it's 3 or 4.
It's 4.
4, yeah. Why is that? Have you made a little breakthrough on that?
No, I think it's just work and feeling better and experience coming in. Sometimes the experience coming slowly, and at some point you discover a few things, and boom, you step up a bit. So that's what I feel. I feel like I'm feeling much better now than I was feeling in the beginning of the season, and also driving a second time on the same tracks in Formula One also helps. So yeah, it's all good.
And Mexico was good, wasn't it? You took advantage of some of the chaos early on, and do you think you could have got higher than, what was it, P5 in the end?
P5, yeah, I could have, but you can't predict, what's going to happen in the race. Yeah, I mean, you can't predict. We had the good strategy, but yeah, the virtual safety car came in the wrong point, and the Ferrari took advantage of it. They pitted under it and they passed us in the pit lane, and then Vettel had fresher tires, so it was maximum we could have done anyway in that race. Maybe if there was no virtual safety car we could have finished there, but that wasn't the case.
Has Sauber made a step forward with the car, or has everyone sort of dropped back a bit? What is it? I think you've made a step forward.
Yeah, for sure we have, I think. It's not clear like we've done it in one area. I think it's a lot of small things we've started to do a bit better. That's together.
Like what?
No, but we understand the tires a bit better. We have been able to get a bit more out of the car from Ferrari. They've been able to turn up the engine a bit more the last couple of races. Also, we've had some updates on the car that's helped us. We got some kilos out of the car on my side. I've had a car that's been around 10 kilos overweight, and that's a lot of lap time, and now we're down to 3 or 4 kilos. So it's been a lot of combined things, and also, you start to get more into the midfield, you get more confidence, and then as a driver you get more confidence, so you'll be able to get a bit more out of the car that way as well. So I think it's just all these things together that's made us a step. It's my feeling, at least, yeah.
You need big points to get Williams, don't you? Maybe they're a little bit out of touch, but it's possible, I think.
Yeah, but to be honest,
for me personally, I put that to the side for the moment. I think it's just about getting the maximum out of every weekend now. And if we achieve that, that's the best we can do anyways. And then we'll see if it's enough at the end of the day or not. But there's no point now, focusing too much on that target. I think we didn't finish quite a few races recently, and now we need to see the finish flag and hopefully get some points, and that's the main focus now.
Well, Kevin, Mexico was good, wasn't it? Because your 4 points got you to within, or got the team to within a point of Renault. You've got to keep still going for that Constructors' Championship place, haven't you? Because it's worth a lot.
Yeah, it is, and it's only 1 point away. It's only 6 points to Toro Rosso as well. Perhaps Toro Rosso is the least competitive of those two, but they're a bit further away. So I don't know. It's really, there's every reason to give it everything we got. We know Renault are in front pace-wise, but they're quite unreliable, and once in a while they're not competitive as well. So fingers crossed, and we give it everything we have.
How important is it to end the year strongly, not only for this year, I suppose, but for next, actually, for developing next year's car?
Well, obviously next year we will have a new car. Some things are always gonna be tried this year. If it's even on beginning of the year or end of the year, we always try to take all the new stuff and learn from them and improve for the future. But obviously the aim is still the same. Even the championships are over, it's to do well as any race. And for us as a team, we try to fight for wins and go from there. It's 2 races to go, and then after that we start looking for the next year.
So is there anything you can do differently with the car? Stress it a bit more, maybe run things a bit tighter just to prove things, maybe that we might see a pole or a win for you before the end of the year?
Well, I don't think we run the car any safe modes in other races. We always try to achieve the best result, and it certainly doesn't change the way of doing things, even if the championships are over, and we can only do the maximum and see where we end up.
The development is ongoing, but for sure in terms of this year is not over yet. We still have the challenge to seal second place. That's the priority right now. Obviously we have 2 races. We want to do them as well as we can as a team. So a lot of work ahead, and a lot of things that I think we can learn for this year and for next, to take it on board for next year.
Does anything change from now? Has there been another star painted on the side of the crash helmet? Do you change the approach? Do you lift off the throttle a little bit for the next couple of races?
Nope. We've still got the 2 races. That's really, for me, I guess really the reason I have not, it's not really sunk in, is because I've kind of tried to stay in the zone, really. So I'm still kind of in the same mental frame of mind that I've still got 2 races to go. So it feels abnormal to back off at this point. And I've got these 2 races to go, and I think this is better time than ever to apply even more pressure, just because I can.
So plenty of battles to be fought up and down the pit lane, where honour is still at stake. But as far as Lewis Hamilton is concerned, job done, pressure's off, and he should be able to enjoy the weekend without finding it all too taxing. Thanks very much for watching. See you throughout the weekend. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to the F1 Reports. With the dust settling on Lewis Hamilton's 4th driver's title, F1 heads to Brazil for the penultimate round of the 2017 season. With plenty still at stake for the
There's a star that lights the world. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, just drown. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drown. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this, just drown. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drown. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drown. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this, just drown. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just star that lights the road? Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the star that lights the road? Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. star that lights the road? Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge and ride. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one riding to the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge and ride. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one riding to the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge and ride. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one riding to the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge and ride. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one riding to the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge and ride. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. Down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this, just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one, right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one, right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this, just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one, right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. For one last time, I'll take this ride. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out and breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this. Just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know.
We asked you to vote for your favourite Singapore Grand Prix, and inevitably the results were close. The winner was 2010, Fernando Alonso's second win here in the big city. This time, of course, he was driving for Ferrari. The build-up was tense, for the championship lead at this point of the season could have been taken by any one of 5 drivers. The intensity of the fight between these two champions was never more obvious than at the start, with Alonso forcefully countering Vettel's immaculate getaway. Nick Heidfeld, racing again for Sauber, was quickly in trouble with the two Force Indias of Adrian Sutil and Vitantonio Luzzi, obliging him to stop for a new front wing. Luzzi seemed to be okay until the rear suspension gave way. Vettel had a slight pace advantage with the Red Bull RB6, but Alonso on this demanding street course had the trump card that is track position. A glorious race of tactics seemed to be unfolding until lap 29, when both drivers strangely obviated the undercut and came in at the same time for new Bridgestones. In a double whammy for Vettel, his Renault engine then stuttered for a second or two as he left the pit lane. Singapore, meanwhile, was alive with the predictable incidents. Sauber's Kamui Kobayashi fell into a skirmish with Mercedes' Michael Schumacher before crashing at turn 18. HRT's Bruno Senna, with nowhere to go, then compounded the situation. Red Bull's Mark Webber, balked by a backmarker, could do nothing about Lewis Hamilton's decisive move in the McLaren. But then Lewis squeezed him tight onto the apex, massively hurting his title chances. Webber would struggle home in third place, retaining the lead of the championship, and lucky that his damaged tyre would last the next 26 laps. There were more dramas for Schumacher when he came to blows with compatriot Heidfeld. And although Renault's Robert Kubica felt that his tyres were okay, his team's telemetry was telling them otherwise.
I didn't have any punches.
Robert, it definitely was a puncture. We had no pressure in that tyre now.
He subsequently flew on the new set, passing Petrov, Massa, Hulkenberg and Sutil in quick succession. Still, the race was on at the front, with Vettel increasing the pressure on Alonso as the closing phase approached. And still the fireworks persisted down the field. Heikki Kovalainen, tapped by Sebastian Buemi's Toro Rosso with 3 laps to go, found his Lotus leaking fuel. In a decision that prevented any overtaking on the last 2 corners, Heikki chose wisely not to stop his burning car in the pit lane.
Stop and get out, it's on fire.
Vettel, over the last 2 laps, did his utmost to induce an error from Alonso. Fernando duly bobbled momentarily out of the last corner. The Red Bull loomed large in his mirrors, but Fernando is the master controller of the race from the front. Still, there was no room for Vettel. Fernando crossed the line to win his second Singapore Grand Prix by the margin of 0.2 seconds, with Webber limping home in third place. Alonso won from the pole, led every lap and set fastest lap. And his 25th win, his 4th of the year, also matched the record of Niki Lauda and Jim Clark.
I remember it was a tough battle with Red Bulls, so we were a little bit slower during practice, but quali lap was quite good for us, and then thanks to the difficulty to overtaking this track, we kept the first position of the race through, and yeah, I remember it was good emotion, and the party after I remember as well.
Non-stop action in Singapore as ever. Not long to go now until Suzuka, when you can vote for your favourite Japanese Grand Prix.
One of these greats, and there's no question, Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso are great drivers. One of them is going to walk away with this title today. Which one?
In normal condition, Sebastian would have easily taken the place because he is very good. The car is very strong. But we also know that when you are under pressure, you start to tremble.
13 points the gap in the championship. Even if Vettel falls off the road, Alonso has to finish top 3 to win this championship.
None of us could have predicted what was about to unfold.
Everything that could happen, happened, and everything that could go wrong in a way went wrong.
Lights out, away we go, and Hamilton versus Button off the front row. Vettel away slowly. Wow, we have a race on our hands. Vettel did not get away at all well there.
It seems that he had the worst start of the season. For Sebastian, because of the tension, that is natural. I mean, nothing strange. They're very young guys, don't forget that.
It's Vettel! It's Vettel! It's Vettel! He's been hit! Down at turn 4. How much damage is on the Red Bull? What drama here on the first lap in Brazil?
At that point, you think that's it, it's over. It was obvious that Fernando, because he always is on the podium, was going to finish on the podium, which is what he needed to achieve to win the championship.
Usually in that moment you think it's over, you're out of the race. In that particular moment probably it's over, I'm out of the championship. But in that case I just wanted to get going again.
Hey, someone hit me. I'm coming back. I think I have done it.
Our priority was to win the podium, because whatever's happened to Sebastian, if we are not in the podium, we have no chance.
Alonso moves up into 3rd place, which is where he needs to be if Vettel gets no points here today.
I didn't know how much damage there was, so I drove past the main straight, close to the pit wall, to give Adrian and give people a chance to have a look.
Sebastian, there's visible damage, but stay out to see how the car behaves. We cannot fix it. It's not front wing. We cannot fix the damage.
There was a lot of damage to the exhaust system and the aerodynamics in that part of the car. But then he started coming back.
Vettel's just done a quick lap faster than anybody else. This isn't over yet.
Alonso's gone wide.
Alonso's gone wide. Hulkenberg's gone past. Vettel's just trying to pick them off one by one. Fantastic by the Red Bull.
He was determined that he wasn't going to let the championship slip away.
I just kept going. Surprisingly quickly, I was behind Fernando.
Look at Hulkenberg challenging Hamilton for the lead. Oh, no! Oh, they've made contact! Hamilton and Hulkenberg! And now that's going to be Button leading and Alonso in 2nd place. Hamilton's final race at McLaren ends with a damaged car.
Sebastian, the radio does not work. The radio does not work.
It was too dry for inters at that point, so we had to stick to our basic rule of we've got to fit the right tyres for that moment.
This is a crucial call for Red Bull to keep him on slick tyres.
That's a brave decision from Red Bull. And within 30 seconds it started to rain.
Box.
His radio had stopped working. He could hear us, but we couldn't hear him.
They didn't have the tyres ready. Look, it just took so long to get them on. Vettel's obviously made the call. The team haven't heard him. And he arrived in the pit lane, and then it was like, well, what does he want? It must be intermediates.
If they finish where they are now, Alonso would be world champion.
Again, at that stage, you think, that's it, it's gone. And you think it's all over. But then again, Sebastian started coming through.
Brave cut back into the inside.
And he got himself back into that vital 7th position that became 6th when, surprisingly to all of us, Michael Schumacher waved him through.
Michael Schumacher.
His gift in his last race is he doesn't put up any resistance at all to his young German friend.
We were really hoping that it would have been a better fight, but I think that Michael finishes his career there. He didn't want to be seen the one that was keeping the world champion behind.
Sebastian, this position is good enough. Your current position is good enough.
10 laps to go, I had the call that where we currently are is enough. But still I tried to push because maybe, there's some odd situation, someone spins.
Andres has had a crash.
They are behind safety car. There will be no further changes. Jenson Button takes victory. 2nd place goes to Alonso, but with 6th place, Sebastian Vettel is the 2012 Formula One World Champion.
You're the world champion! You're the triple world champion, Sebastian Vettel! You are the man! You're a triple world champion!
Having succeeded and
everything just falls off, you know, and it just...
Straightforward, mate, wouldn't it? Straightforward.
In a way, you don't even have the power to maybe realize what happened, or the power to celebrate the way you probably thought or dreamt of, you know, celebrating.
It's lights out and away we go. Valtteri Bottas pointing towards Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton gets away well though and cuts Bottas off down the inside. Goes Sebastian Vettel, tries to get the car under control and loses out to Kimi Räikkönen, so stays in fourth. And the Toro Rosso going wide there, and that is Carlos Sainz from 14th on the grid. And contact there. Kimi Räikkönen has had contact with one of the Red Bulls, I think it is.
I thought it was a Mercedes.
Well, if it was a Mercedes, it is Valtteri Bottas, you're right. Valtteri Bottas having a poor start there as I was looking for Carlos Sainz. Another one with a poor start. Down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo on Lance Stroll, but he doesn't quite make the move stick. And it's Hamilton out in front here in Baku, but his teammate Valtteri Bottas in trouble, and they're all squirming around looking for grip. And this is the problem Valtteri Bottas has got with his front right tyre.
So now debris is clear. You are free to race. Let's go.
Now, there goes Carlos Sainz on the Sauber. There goes Daniel Ricciardo on Carlos Sainz and the Saubers. Oh dear, there is Danny Kvyat, stopped by the side of the track.
Oh no, issue with the engine.
Oh no.
Yeah, here we go again. Max, that is the end for us. I'm sorry about that.
The safety car is coming out, and that might just now see a lot of activity in the pit lane as well. Right, so there goes Hamilton. Also coming in Sebastian Vettel.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it, to stop now?
The safety car needs to speed up because this is too slow.
Lewis is backing up the pack a little bit, and he went into him.
Ray, he brake tested me. What the f going on?
Vettel literally just came alongside me and turned in and hit me.
He might have lost a bit of front wing there, Sebastian Vettel. And he's saying to Hamilton, what did you do? You stamped on the brakes, and this could be very, very tricky indeed for the championship leader. There's a bit come off his front wing as we get racing once again. Hamilton then leads them down the straight. Sergio Perez already pulling out to the right-hand side. He's after Vettel. Felipe Massa's after Vettel. And as we see Sebastian Vettel under pressure now, down the inside goes Felipe Massa in the Williams. Can't quite get past him, but he still might hang on in there. The two Force Indias scrapping away. Perez has lost a place to Massa, and Vettel somehow manages to hang on to second place. Well done, Massa, as the two Force Indias collide there, and there's big damage to Perez's front wing.
Both damaged.
Damage. The car just pointed to the left massively. I think ideally will be red flag. It's true, there is debris everywhere.
Well, and they have red flagged this race. The drivers will now come into the pit lane whilst the marshals get a proper chance to clear up this track with all the bits of carbon fibre that are strewn around it. Right, weaving away down the straight, and now they can start going once again. Hamilton then ahead of Sebastian Vettel, ahead of Felipe Massa and his teammate Lance Stroll. And this time, Lance Stroll now makes a move on Felipe Massa. And Daniel Ricciardo's in that fight, and Nico Hülkenberg as well. And Massa's getting swallowed up by the pack. And down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo. What a move from the Australian. He's picked up a couple of places in one corner.
Right, brilliant, mate. Stay focused. Let's keep it smooth now. Stay ahead.
Felipe Massa's in trouble here. Here comes Nico Hülkenberg. Massa's been passed again, and he might get caught here by Kevin Magnussen as well. Magnussen fancies going down the inside. Can he do what Ricciardo did? Yes, he can.
The car is shaking completely. Very difficult to drive. Okay, so it's a broken rear damper. We're going to need to retire the car.
Oh, and there's a problem there for Nico Hülkenberg. Look at that front right tyre. He's out of this race, and he's made contact.
Oh dear. Oh, he'll hate it when he watches that one back on the video.
I hit the wall. Okay, Lewis, looks like headrest is just a little bit loose at the back. Just see if you can pull it into position on the straight.
I'll tell you what, if that flies out, he'll be obliged to pit.
Well, have I had a technical flag yet?
So we've been instructed we have to pit this lap.
And Sebastian Vettel has got a 10-second stop-go penalty for dangerous driving.
When did I do dangerous driving then.
We speak after now. Keep your head down and mode box.
It's all about the World Championship as well, isn't it, with those two?
Hamilton coming down the main straight, we can see there. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. He is just ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And now Lewis Hamilton switches to the inside. Thought about it for a moment. Now Sebastian Vettel goes down the inside, gets past Fernando Alonso. Has Hamilton got some decent acceleration and traction out of turn 2 to power down that straight and get past Alonso? He has. So Sebastian Vettel still ahead of Hamilton, but for how much longer? Well, they're going to have to survive that order for a few more corners to go. Right, here's Ocon and Bottas. Ocon was in the podium places. Not anymore. Valtteri Bottas, who tangled with Kimi Raikkonen on the second corner, is now back up into the podium places.
Personal best coming in the sectors, personal best at the end of the laps as well for Ricciardo and Stroll.
Guys, if Valtteri's not fighting anyone ahead, you need to have him slow down just enough that he gives bad wake.
Valtteri's trying to catch Stroll. We don't want to give Vettel the DRS.
Stroll's now got those three in his mirrors.
A crazy, chaotic, amazing race, full of incidents for Daniel Ricciardo. The checkered flag is there. He wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Behind him, Lance Stroll. Has he been overtaken by Valtteri Bottas? Just on the line, Bottas, who was a lap down and plumb last after the opening exchanges, has come back to take second place.
Oh man, he got me.
And I tell you what, second or third, they might not care, because the fact is Lance Stroll gets his first podium in Formula One. Sebastian Vettel will extend his championship lead to 14 points, but it wasn't the championship contenders who finished on the podium, but it's a podium full of smiles and passion after a great race here in Baku. It's lights out and away we go. Excellent start from Valtteri Bottas, and already Daniel Ricciardo is right on the tail of Sebastian Vettel. Which way is he going to go? Bottas leads them into turn 1 ahead of Vettel. On the inside, Ricciardo is trying to get past Kimi Raikkonen, and going off there is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Dreadful start from him. Stoffel Van Dorn's picked up places even though he went very, very wide. Awful for Verstappen, better for Bottas. Into turn 3 we go. Down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo, pushes Kimi Raikkonen wide. Raikkonen rejoins the track now. Can he make up a place? No, he's got Romain Grosjean for company as they head down towards turn 4. Bottas from Vettel, then Ricciardo, Grosjean and Raikkonen. Grosjean's going to try and go round the outside. Excellent start from the Haasman. Ricciardo just stays ahead of him. Ooh, what a start. And Lewis Hamilton up into 6th place. There you can see the melee behind, and no chance for Max Verstappen to avoid that whatsoever. Alonso going straight into him after the earlier touch from Danny Kvyat.
Oh, he just got a thump. Alonso was all in his mirrors, like just protecting himself, and then he gets the thump up the back. And Verstappen, having had the all-start, was also being very cautious. And this is Sainz in front of us, so Kvyat passed his teammate. I was right first time, it was Sainz who had a poor start. Now Kvyat locks his brakes, thumps the McLaren, and round they all go.
And we ride on board with Max Verstappen, limping.
Okay, Max, please pull over, stop the car.
And Fernando Alonso out of this race as well. Massive disappointment.
Got DRS, slipstream.
Is he going to go
stay
for
with
it?
this? Yeah.
And does. Round the outside. Lewis Hamilton into turn 4, goes up into 5th place and past Romain Grosjean.
Yeah, there's not much left in the tyre.
Or is he going to stay on a? Is he going to stay on a 1, Kimi, while everybody goes to a 2?
What they're doing, I think, Ted, is leaving Kimi out and stopping Bottas having a comfortable pit stop, but they're going to do that anyway. So if Bottas pitted, he'll come out very close to, or probably behind, Raikkonen at this point. That's why they were forced to leave him out longer than they ideally wanted to. Off comes the visor strip.
So this could get quite close here. And the guys get to work. They need to be rapid for Valtteri Bottas, and that's not very rapid at all. For whatever reason, Kimi Raikkonen is now coming through the final turn, 3.4 seconds. So it's about at least half a second slower than normal. There goes Kimi Räikkönen into turn 1. Inside line for Valtteri Bottas. Räikkönen now takes the lead of this race, even though he hasn't pitted. There's one man he's not going to enjoy seeing go past him, is Valtteri Bottas, because these two have a bit of previous from the 2 collisions earlier in this season. But Bottas pulls to the outside now, and it might actually be a little bit easier for him. It is. Kimi Räikkönen sees Valtteri Bottas sail past into turn 4 and away into the distance, and Ferrari should be able to bring Kimi in now. If he held up his fellow Finn, it wasn't by much, and it certainly wasn't for very long.
No, he had a really scruffy turn 3, didn't he? So it was candy from a baby.
Hamilton at the moment coming past the start-finish line, and performed the undercut. Would have got Kimi Räikkönen had Ferrari pitted straight away after Hamilton pitted. But Kimi now will have fresher tyres to go and chase after the Mercedes, which is heading onwards as Kimi joins the racetrack proper towards turn 3.
Vettel 0.8 of a second behind Bottas in the lead, and Hamilton 0.8 of a second behind Ricciardo in 3rd place. 2 to go. One Mercedes under pressure, the other giving pressure.
Bottas, as it was in Sochi, Sebastian Vettel on his tail, locks up a little bit, survives that one corner. Hamilton goes very deep and now gets a decent exit.
Oh, he's got
coming
a great
out
chance now.
of turn 3. You're right, Martin. He's right on Ricciardo's tail. He's got DRS there. He's looking for a podium spot. Is Lewis Hamilton. He's alongside the Red Bull. Is he past the Red Bull? Inside line for Ricciardo. Just hangs on to 3rd place. Going through turn 4. This battle is set to go down maybe to the final lap as the Red Bull just holds station through the midsection.
Hamilton struggling in the turbulent air coming off the back of the Red Bull in a section of the track where the Red Bull is just playing faster anyway. So his chance will be keep it close down the pit straight, give himself a chance down the back straight once more on the final lap.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel now 6/10 behind Valtteri Bottas. He's closed even more on the penultimate lap. They go through the first corner. Hamilton and Ricciardo next to go through turn 1. DRS once again for Hamilton, who needs a good exit coming out of turn 1 to go on and challenge Ricciardo once again. Bottas further up the road manages to keep Vettel at bay.
Get your elbows out. This is for the podium. Last lap.
Who's got the biggest elbows? Can Hamilton get a decent exit once again and make that challenge into turn 4? Is Sebastian Vettel going to go for it? No, he's not. Is Hamilton a bit too far behind? He's gaining. He's gaining. Is he gaining enough? No, not quite. As Sergio Perez tries to move out of the way of the 3rd and 4th place.
Oh, that's going to go wide. Oh, well saved.
Very wide indeed. But he hasn't lost too much time, has he? Bottas squirming around, hasn't got the grip that he wants, holding off Sebastian Vettel for what is a thrilling climax to the Austrian Grand Prix. Bottas, who picked up the first win of his career in Russia earlier this season, started on pole here in Austria this afternoon, has now completed all 10 corners of the final lap and crosses the line to win again in Formula 1. It's Bottas from Vettel, and completing the podium places, Daniel Ricciardo comes home to hold off Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton gave it his all, but in the end it just wasn't quite good enough. Started 8th, finishes 4th.
Yes! Great job, really good job.
Yeah, guys. Whew. Thank you. That was good. That was amazing.
It's champagne time and smiles for Ricciardo and for Red Bull. For Sebastian Vettel, he extends his championship lead to 20 points. For Valtteri Bottas, he puts himself right in the mix as we head to Silverstone and the halfway stage of this season. And it's lights out and away we go. Hamilton gets away well, so does Bottas, and he's wheel to wheel with Kimi Räikkönen. Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel now are level. Sebastian Vettel does manage to get ahead. Sebastian Vettel ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas breaks a little earlier and he's getting swallowed up by Räikkönen and the Red Bull that goes off the track. Sebastian Vettel then leads them away from Hamilton, from Bottas, and there is Fernando Alonso onto the gravel.
Really clumsy stuff. A puncture then for Felipe Massa as well. They were tripping over each other like crazy. Really clumsy driving into turn 1. Raikkonen is out. Raikkonen broken suspension. You can fix it, but it'll take a while. And that is how he feels about Kimi Raikkonen.
This is suspension.
Okay, can you bring it home, Max?
Yeah.
Last year's race winner then, sadly, out after the first corner.
And that is Kimi Raikkonen. His race is over.
And they were way pretty even Stevens at the front, weren't they? But then the Ferrari of Vettel just got a better drive in the second phase of the start. Vettel the clear leader. And look at Bottas up the inside of turn 1. And he did indeed just touch the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen that then moved across the track into the Red Bull.
Look, we're on board with Valtteri Bottas here.
Kimi saw a half a chance. And there it goes. Good night and thank you. That's 2 rivals gone. And then Alonso getting just plain shoved off the racetrack.
Okay, Lewis, this is critical time in the race now, so just give it everything you got. I know you're pushing hard.
Give it to it, Bono.
It might be a 2-horse race, Crofty, but it looks like it's shaping up to be a real head-to-head, doesn't it?
It certainly does. That's going to be very close. Carlos Sainz comes out. Kevin Magnussen gets there with about a yard to spare, and they're going to go onto the grass with a Toro Rosso as he tries to get past Magnussen. Sebastian Vettel stops. Did Mercedes push Ferrari into the undercut?
This is the opportunity, Lewis. Give it everything you got.
And a cracking lap from Hamilton. This is going to be so close. He's got to pass this Red Bull. Well, and then the Williams will be required to move over pretty quickly as well. So that was an important move.
You get the feeling Mercedes are going to need to bring Hamilton in because he is losing pace on this lap and it will only get worse. Fernando Alonso is going round the outside there of the Toro Rosso of Danny Kvyat, and they almost bang wheels, and Alonso just had to back out of that one again. Kvyat's never a man to back out of a challenge, and Alonso kicks up a bit of dirt as he runs wide through turn 4. As Hamilton stops, and is that the medium tyres that have gone on? Yes, it is. Valtteri Bottas is now the car ahead of Sebastian Vettel. How much longer can he keep Sebastian Vettel at bay to allow his teammate to catch him up?
Bottas will go wide with that one. Bottas will go wide. Vettel will be going mad inside that cockpit. So if he can get a good run, what's going to happen down the pit straight? Can he get a better run this time?
Well, let's see.
He's going to have to dummy him. He's going to have to pretend he's going right.
And Sebastian Vettel goes onto the grass this time. Sebastian Vettel on the inside does manage to get past Valtteri Bottas. I get the feeling Lewis Hamilton's going to get past his teammate a lot easier than Sebastian Vettel found it on the previous lap. Yeah.
You're a psychic.
Massa and Van Dorn. What was going on there with Stoffel Van Dorn and Felipe Massa? A virtual safety car has been deployed.
Yeah, what are Ferrari going to do with this one then?
Is this for Lewis Hamilton then to get rid of those medium compound tyres and say, right, can he get to the end on that set of softs?
Ferrari coming in now, but if you pit now, while your rivals are flat out, can go flat out down the pit straight.
See, he's going to lose a lot more time here now because it's under racing speed.
Yeah, he's still going to have track position.
Yeah, but only just though, because look, you can see Hamilton going down the main straight. Wehrlein stays ahead of Sainz. Magnussen's ahead of Grosjean. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton's on the outside. This is going to be neck and neck going into turn 1. Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and Hamilton gets forced off the track. Who's going to come out in front? It's Sebastian Vettel in front. Oh, Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. That's an engine that shouldn't have been in the car today, but the new one that went in sprung a water leak and they had to put the old one back in again yesterday. That's a good exit off the final corner for Lewis Hamilton. He's got DRS. Vettel blocks him off on the inside. Hamilton goes round the outside and swoops into the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix.
We have a puncture, more the puncture.
And that's where the puncture came from, presumably.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton, he's going to go on now to take another Spanish Grand Prix victory. It's his 55th win in Formula One. Hamilton wins the Spanish Grand Prix and closes the championship gap to 6 points as Sebastian Vettel comes home in second. Daniel Ricciardo will come home and complete those podium positions. Perez and Ocon, 4th and 5th for Force India. Nico Hülkenberg, super result for Renault coming home in 6th place. Carlos Sainz takes 7th. Pascal Wehrlein for Sauber scores championship points with that 8th place finish and a one-stop strategy ahead of Danny Kvyat and Romain Grosjean. And so 5 races down, 2 wins for Sebastian Vettel, 2 wins for Lewis Hamilton. It's lights out, away we go, and away goes Kimi Räikkönen, and away goes Valtteri Bottas too. Sebastian Vettel ahead of him as Bottas locks up, Räikkönen leads. Round the outside goes Max Verstappen ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, and they file through the first corner pretty much unscathed. Up the top of the hill to Beau Rivage and Massenet. It's Kimi Räikkönen from Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen and Ricciardo, the top 5. What a great start from Kimi Räikkönen there. His teammate absolutely no chance of getting past and into Sainte Devote. Reactions of a young man.
I thought Vettel looked like he might be under pressure from the Mercedes up the inside for a while, but he covered that off.
I've got the back of my car. Okay, Nico, we have a major gearbox problem.
There will now be, Martin, a real trail of some very slippy stuff from Mirabeau, or exit of the Casino Square, really, all the way down to where he is now at Portier. Ferrari coming out into the pit lane. We saw Daniel Ricciardo lose out to Lewis Hamilton in the eventual race deciding pit stop. Super soft tyres going on. Kimi Räikkönen's Ferrari looked nice and swift.
If Vettel's still got the pace in the tyres, he can pump these in for another 2 or 3 laps at least before he catches that Stroll, Perez, Palmer, Ocon, Massa.
Ricciardo just in the pits. Be interesting to see where he comes out, but what a blistering pace he's got. Can he put the Ferraris under pressure now? And certainly, what has Räikkönen got to respond to Vettel as well? This race is really shaping up.
If it's a perfect Ferrari stop, Vettel will emerge in the lead.
He is pitting, as is Felipe Massa for Williams as well. And Sebastian Vettel sees the mechanics all smartly dressed in red waiting for him with the red striped super soft tyres going on. Nothing untoward in that pit stop, and out he goes. 60 kilometres an hour. Kimi Räikkönen just coming around Anthony Nogues now. This is going to be a change of leadership in this race. Sebastian Vettel, championship leader, comes back out onto the track. There comes his teammate Kimi Räikkönen. Vettel has overturned it. The overcut has worked. Kimi's pole position was sensational yesterday. Now he's got to do something sensational to win on Sunday.
Did Daniel stop?
Yes, Max. Daniel unfortunately has jumped us both.
What a disaster.
We got some double wave yellows, and who's gone into the barrier at Portier? And that does look very nasty indeed. That is a serious incident and a safety car here in Monte Carlo.
Pascal, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, are you okay? Yeah, it would be better if I could jump out.
Let's have a look. You see Jenson Button does go down the inside, and then Pascal does get launched.
Yeah, the rollover hoop would have protected him.
Yeah.
Fine there. We're going to see it for ourselves. Jenson's been frustrated, hasn't he, behind Wehrlein right since the early stages.
Jenson's McLaren.
A little bit of a clumsy move.
Jenson Button has ended with retirement from the Monaco Grand Prix.
They can pull it
there
away.
There he goes. A big round of applause for Pascal Wehrlein, and he can have a look at the mural as he walks back. Marcus Ericsson down at Sainte Devote. Oh, he's just gone straight onto the barrier. Vettel's backed them up a little bit, and now they released and can get up to racing speed. A lock-up from Bottas already on his cold tyres. Remember, Mercedes this weekend having issues with warming up their tyres. Green flags, we are racing. Vettel now, off into the distance he goes, with Kimi Räikkönen behind him. Bottas might be in a position to have a go at Ricciardo here. Ricciardo covers him off. Verstappen's got caught napping just a little bit through Sainte Devote.
Ricciardo hits the barrier.
He does, and he's losing time, and now Bottas stuck right behind him, and Verstappen through Massenet. It's 1, 2, 3 separated by about 10 car lengths. Down the inside went Sergio Perez. And into the barrier went Stoffel van Dorn.
Okay, stop. I'm in the wall in turn 1. Copy. Turn the car fully off. Turn the car fully off.
They rise to acclaim Sebastian Vettel here in Monaco, where Ferrari haven't triumphed, as you can see, since 2001. Well, today they have. Sebastian Vettel wins the Monaco Grand Prix. He's back on top of the podium in the Principality. Kimi Räikkönen makes it a Ferrari 1-2, but how happy will he be about that?
Yes! P1. You deserve this one. You deserve this one. Master Vettel in Monaco.
Woohoo! Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Grazie ragazzi, grande lavoro.
Sebastian Vettel with a 25-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. Ferrari now have a 17-point lead in the Constructors' Championship. Race winner for a 45th time in Formula One. His teammate Kimi Räikkönen alongside him. Daniel Ricciardo in third. Seems everything is bigger and better here in Monaco for Sebastian Vettel. A big win. It's lights out and away we go. Excellent start from Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton covers him and outside goes Max Verstappen. Locking up on the inside, Valtteri Bottas. What a start from Max Verstappen into second place already. They all file through turn 1 in single file. Some couple double abreast, but they all get through pretty much unscathed. Dust being kicked up from the rear, but Max Verstappen going from 5th on the grid and getting up to second place already. Looked like there's someone either kicked up some dirt or went very wide indeed and straight into the barriers. Goes Carlos Sainz and also Felipe Massa. And now we can highlight Carlos Sainz and Romain Grosjean and see it from the helicopter. There's the first go, there's the second go. And he does rather cut across him and then straight into Felipe Massa. Sainz goes into Grosjean and comes off way worse. Is that Sainz's fault?
It looked like he squeezed him a bit, didn't it?
Unbelievable. I have no idea what's happened. Somebody just pushed me completely.
The safety car in already. The track is clear. We can go racing again. Something's flown straight off one of the front wings as Verstappen tries to go around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton just cuts him off. Verstappen has to stay in second place. Bottas now on his tail as well as through the final chicane they come, and Bottas and Verstappen are side to side as Hamilton leads across the line. Into turn 1 we go. Under braking Max Verstappen keeps that second place. Lock up there from Sebastian Vettel. Daniel Ricciardo behind him in 5th place. Is there a problem in his Sebastian Vettel's front wing?
He pits.
Yeah, now originally it was Max Verstappen who touched Sebastian Vettel at the start when he went round the outside, and that caused the original weakening of some of the elements of that front wing.
Let's just have a look at this. And the teenager just steams through, and yeah, his front wing is very badly damaged there.
Oh dear, Max Verstappen, no!
Come on.
Oh, after such a good start, Verstappen pulls over to the side of the track. Let's have a little listen.
Oh, just cut out.
He's absolutely livid. Oh, here goes Lance Stroll having a go at the McLaren of Stoffel van Dorn and locks up a brake going into the hairpin, but Stroll pulls off the overtake, puts himself up into the points. And back to Ocon.
Well, the works Mercedes with DRS and slipstream can't pass him.
Yeah. Bottas thinks about it into turn 1, runs out of racetrack, and Ocon there. That's the first sign we've seen of a loss of grip and a loss of traction.
Yeah, start to have less grip now.
It's turned into a fascinating race, but for completely different reasons to what I was expecting. But you know, the Ferrari's having a bad start and then losing Verstappen. It changed the face of it, didn't it?
Do we believe the other cars have to stop?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
I think that was a rather hopeful radio call, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting battle. McLaren against Williams. It's going to be Honda power against Mercedes power. And he's gaining on Alonso. He's got DRS. He's approaching 200 miles an hour. He's over 200 miles an hour. He is past Fernando Alonso. Sebastian Vettel pits.
You think we will get them at the end?
Yeah.
We think so. Should catch them and have 8 laps to battle.
I think Ocon's got a better chance of having a run at Ricciardo.
Checo, Esteban is pushing, saying he can overtake Ricciardo if given the chance. Let us race, man, please.
And Kimi Räikkönen is now down into 7th. Sebastian Vettel is up into 6th. Look at this.
What can I do? I'm going to get back to 50 seconds.
So what's wrong with my brakes, Kimi said.
And on to the back straight we go then, as Perez goes to defend, and Ocon goes round the outside and is going to have to try and go the long way round the chicane and can't quite do it. Ocon is going to try and have a go again, but look, here comes Sebastian Vettel into turn 1. Vettel down the inside, forces Ocon wide. Now Ocon goes off the track. Sergio Perez ahead of Vettel, but he's going to come back on the track, and Ocon's lost out. Someone's had a cropper. Fernando Alonso is out of this race.
Engine block.
He's going to have a go, Sebastian Vettel down the inside on Sergio Perez. What a move again from the championship leader. And he is up now into 4th.
There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. Down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. But maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I die broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. But maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just there is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out or breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. Died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out or breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just
How's it going, man?
Hi, Lewis.
You well?
Good, thank you. Did you?
Yeah, really well.
Really appreciate you coming to do the track guide with us here in Monaco.
Pleasure.
You can't come to Monaco without thinking about the great man Ayrton Senna. He was a hero to us both. So I just want to enjoy a lap of his first, if we can, and then look at how that compares with how you are today. How does that look to you?
It's incredible.
Down in a sand divot, about 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, it looks so much bumpier on this camera. The first corner's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, climbing the hill. As he gets up there, look, notice his right hand. He's yet to put two hands on the steering wheel because he's busy shifting.
It was so much more hardcore back then.
And then down the bump. He didn't move out across the bump. And then
everyone does that still.
Such a wide
If you look at the apex there, there's a curb. Now there's no curb there. It's just a barrier.
Yeah.
So he's having to avoid the curb, or some people obviously touching that curb. Looks like his car's quite stiff.
That's the barrier he hit in '88. Otherwise, he would have won 7 races instead of 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is.
No onboard cameras in the tunnel. They didn't work back then.
And look at that guy just standing there. There's no.
Now compare this down,
so different.
Down into the harbour chicane.
Not taking any curb. Looks a little bit tighter. I think now you can take the curb now in Formula 1.
He was in neutral on the way in. He was in neutral. He didn't quite get the downshift into to back.
Can't imagine going into to back one-handed. I mean, that would be crazy.
Through the wall of the swimming pool. And you could go straight on there into that wall if you got it wrong.
It's so much different to a swimming pool now, you know, it's so much...
Decision point. You're going to go in there?
You have to go for it if you're on a qualifying lap. You have to go for it and have total confidence in the guy.
Exactly what he did, of course.
It's so much tighter here.
Yeah. Raskas, they've straightened out a lot, haven't they now?
Yeah, they have.
I don't think that last corner, other than there's no buildings there back in 1990. So that's a lap on board with the great man. So let's put the two of you side by side now. You're so much faster now. We really struggle to keep the cars anywhere near each other.
That's the coolest thing I've seen, though, being alongside Ayrton. That's so cool.
Look at the first corner. There was a barrier before, and now you've got that curve. But I don't think the angle of the corner is any different, is it?
No, it doesn't look like it, no. It might be moved over a metre or so to the left.
Up into Casino Square.
Quite a lot quicker for us.
Yeah, he can't keep up to there. He's fighting the car. No power steering course back in those days.
Yeah.
That looks identical, doesn't it, in the
does.
Casino?
We've got a curb on the inside there.
What's your favourite part of this lap?
Probably the hairpin here.
Really?
It's so cool. Yeah, full lock.
Full lock, yeah.
Just waiting on the tyres to grip up.
So coming out of the tunnel, and of course this is where they've moved the barriers. If you look in front of Senna there, that's where we all used to slam into.
We've got the similar kind of amount of lock on, but
now you've got that big sort of zone because, you know, Wendlinger went in there, so did Jensen, so many people, Perez last year, of course.
I can imagine this is, I mean, for us, it's rapid through there, but it's so much different, the chicane here now, isn't it?
That used to terrify me going through that wall, between those two walls.
I can imagine it. It looks terrifying, to be honest.
And then down into Rascasse, a much straighter run now.
It looks a little bit wider back in the day in some areas of the track.
And that's it. But this track's been quite cruel to you, hasn't it, this last 2 or 3 years? So I think it owes you one, doesn't it, this year?
I don't know about that. I think this is a track that just takes no prisoners, you know. It's the most ruthless circuit, and for me, it looks like back in the day it was a lot more dangerous, but I think we're going so much quicker nowadays. I tell you, I have a huge amount of respect for you guys and how you did it back then. I'd love to try it.
We didn't carry the speed that you're carrying, but would you agree, though, this is still a track that if you attack it, the more you give, the more it gives you back, probably more than any other circuit in the world?
Definitely, definitely. It is still the most incredible, most demanding, most complex circuit, I think, on the calendar. So, you know, you brake 1-2 meters too late and you could be in the barrier, have a lock up. If you're not committed to the exit road, you're in the wall. So it's phenomenal to drive it. And just driving the other day, I thought to myself, when I did a good lap, it was the quickest lap at the time, and I thought, geez, that's dangerous. That was quick, and it was, you know, I think I touched the barrier on a couple of occasions, and to think that you can touch the barrier and be within millimeters of either losing your wing or just making it through is phenomenal.
Good luck.
Cheers, man. Great to see you.
He was almost a mystic. He was very, very, very intense, and he actually believed that he had a God-given right to win.
I race designed to win. I am very strong in a way of driving. I want always to go faster. I am aggressive, I am determined, and I am dedicated to my profession. I continuously go further and further, learning about my own limitations, my body limitations, my psychological limitations. It's a way of life for me. Mostrar-vos a Aprilia RF4 125. Esta moto, embora seja uma 125, é uma das mais potentes das 125. Esta aqui já instalei o escape da KV. Neste vídeo venho mostrar aqui o power da KV. There is no compromise. You give everything you have. Everything, absolutely everything. Sabem, a 125 não vai levar muito barulho, mas esta aqui So every time you are close to those limits,